Craig tends to exaggerate. He has factually lied about a few things.
I'm a lawyer. You think I'm gonna lie when things are filmed?
Coming up on the Southern Charm After Show.
You said she was a bitch at the cup when you handed her the cane.
Craig, you're lying.
It was loud and clear.
Everyone was just like drilling in there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they were drilling.
Did you say the word affair?
No.
You accuse people of infidelity and like you know exactly what you're doing.
I've tried to do that 100 times where I'm like, let's talk about it after dinner. Nope, we're talking about it now.
Weigh in, please.
Venita stands up for JT, then that means Venita's standing against Madison.
No.
I walk up and straddle him, then look him in his eyes, and I go, don't act like you don't want this just as bad as I do. The Southern Charm After Show starts right now.
JT had just arrived, and so he comes to dinner. We know he's coming, and I actually was looking forward to JT coming because I wanted to talk to him face to face and ask him some questions on like what's really happening.
If you're gonna join the trip, which we're more than welcome to have you on, that you should clear the air with some people. The truth of the matter is, if you're gonna make accusations like this on camera, you accuse people of infidelity and like you know exactly what you're doing.
Why FaceTime you with your wife to ask me if we hooked up in Jamaica?
Did he actually say the words, did you hook up?
It was like you left the beach and went where?
Stuff that he tried to do to Sally.
You were the other woman and it was a full-blown affair.
I think it began with like Sally and him kind of going at it.
In my head, I'm like, Sally, why are you screaming at this man? Like, you're not even letting him breathe, let alone talk. Like, sit the down.
JT, don't you think it's a problem when there's like more people in here that you have to apologize to?
I can handle a little hot water for a little while. I'm good.
JT was like, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this.
He just flew down to the Bahamas, and he's gonna sit silent.
In my head, I was sitting there laughing because I was like, that's not how this works, man. I've tried to do that 100 times where I'm like, let's talk about it after dinner. Nope, we're talking about it now.
Why don't you just apologize to people?
He is seated in the middle of the dinner table like Jesus Christ and his 12 disciples. He will not speak to any of us.
Who are you, Sienna? Start talking.
Yeah. Bitch, speak up.
Craig screaming at him. Austin tries to chime in, but he was like, and then he was like, actually, this is not my fight. Like, he was just like, I'm just gonna sit back. And I was like, okay, I can appreciate that. And then like, everyone just kept trying to like go in on him.
That's what we do. We have tough conversations.
Finally, he starts talking a little bit to Craig and calls Craig a liar. So that, exactly.
I will say something here. Craig, it bothers me greatly that you lied and you offended Miss Patricia like that.
What did Craig say?
He defended his explanation and said again, you called her a bitch.
I didn't say that word about her.
Yeah, you did. You said she was a bitch at the cup when you handed her the cane.
Craig, you're lying.
It was loud and clear.
He would not make that up.
Craig tends to exaggerate. He has factually lied about a few things. As he's even said, I'm a lawyer and an embellisher.
I'm a lawyer. You think I'm gonna lie when things are filmed?
I just graduated law school. Did you really graduate? Yeah. I never finished my thesis paper.
I also don't like to sit at tables where people only talk about other people. I've made steps to not do that. Like, I get it. I'm inherently like that.
JT's consistently claimed that he did not say that he would never say that about someone.
I don't believe that I ever called that woman that word. Unless you see those words leave these lips, it's a word. I wasn't raised to use 3 words, B, P, and C.
That's what's so weird. I would see him saying it in a second.
From what I know about this guy, the way that his interactions are with his mom, like, I doubt that he would ever say something like this about like a woman such as Miss Patricia. Yeah. It, like, or a woman in general. I would hope that he wouldn't just like call women a bitch.
I didn't hear that. I'm on record by saying I didn't hear that.
I defend the underdog. Things will probably go better if I'm not sitting here, so I'm gonna go get a drink at the bar.
Craig had had enough and he got up and walked to the bar as he does. So him to like say his piece to Craig and Craig just not receive it. And he was like, oh, the way to not receive this is just to walk away.
He used to roll his sleeves up and get up in there. You know what I mean?
I thought that that's what he was gonna do.
I miss that guy. Engage. It's like Maverick when he disengages. Like, Maverick, engage. Get back in there.
Engage.
What are you doing? He's like, talk to me, Goose. You're a goose.
I'm like, talk to me.
There was a fight that happened when we were all at dinner in the Bahamas, and everyone was going after JT, and JT just kept being like, I don't want to talk right now. I don't want to do this right now. And everyone was just like drilling in him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they were drilling. And I was just like, okay, everyone's ganging up on him yet again. I'm like, we've seen this time and time again. And then the fact that I didn't say anything, he just looks me dead in my eye, and he goes, the only person that can say anything or stand up for me right now is not speaking.
Shep sticks up for him. Why is there so much heat on you?
There's so much heat on me because I didn't stick up for JT in a moment where he believed that I should have been the first one to speak.
And not Shep or Whitney.
Weigh in, please.
You're very much in like with him, and he's getting rocked, and you're sitting there like, I don't know what to do.
And she was like, yeah, she was like, I just don't know what to do. And I'm going, babe, I'm standing up for him, and I don't like this kid right now.
Yeah, and this motherfucker just pissed me off.
I was like, he pissed me off. I was like, but I'm standing up for him. He would never.
That's why I talk about a woman that way.
I don't know if it's because Madison and JT are not good together.
Did you say the word affair?
No.
And if Venita stands up for JT, then that means Venita's standing against Madison. Like,
I can see that Venita would think like, hey, like Madison's my good friend. I don't want to cross her.
I'm sure like standing up for JT is like a death threat coming from Madison, where she's probably daggers. That's the only reason would make sense.
She's
that she
keeping
stayed
her
quiet.
relationship or whatever the it was. Like, I mean, I kind of know.
It
Whatever
is,
the relationship was, like she felt a certain way about him. But at the same time, she didn't want to upset her friendship with Madison.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, you kind of owe a lot to yourself, like by just being upfront.
Yeah.
Do you think she likes JT?
So part of me was like, maybe not. Maybe it's
just
for the sake.
Yeah.
But yeah, deep down, I think she kind of liked him.
Maybe that's why she cried at dinner.
I come back to the dinner table. JT is gone.
Where did he go?
He left, and Venita is crying.
Everybody at this table, they don't get it.
Yeah.
JT upset her and was blaming her for all these things. And
What was he blaming her for?
He said something like out of everybody, she should have been there for him more. But she was being there for him as much as she could. You know, she wasn't talking poorly about him. She was telling everybody to give him another chance. So it really upset her for her to be really his only friend left and for him to say that to her.
I didn't say anything because I was trying to read the room and be like, okay, listen, like I know JT has said time and time again, I can hold my own.
I'm a man of honor, and I'm always gonna be like that. And I will stand up to bullies and mean girls.
Will you give me 1 second?
You didn't say what you want to say?
Well, who got you here? Because who got you on that flight before you got to the Bahamas? Because you didn't get on it. I didn't get on it because I didn't have a passport. You didn't get on it because you were afraid to go on it. Who got you on the flight? But I'm not speaking. Who calmed you down after the tuba concert when everyone was at you and I was just like, okay, listen, like sometimes you gotta let people talk. You're in the wrong for talking to Taylor the way you talked to her. Like you didn't approach it right. But I'm not speaking. Okay.
Venita went and knocked on JT's door at some point during the trip to talk to him. I think it was after she had been crying.
Yeah.
And he didn't answer. So he just left her out
Just
there.
left her in the hallway?
Yeah.
I go to JT's room and I knock and he wouldn't let me in. He was like, there's cameras, there are cameras. Like, I'm not gonna talk to you, there's cameras. Like, you're setting me up. I'm like, I'm not setting you up, I promise you. There's no one here, it's just me.
No cameras.
Okay.
Come on in.
Hi.
Hi.
And we get in that room and I sit in a chair across from him and he's—
Are you mic'd right now? Is there cameras?
No.
There really isn't?
No, there really wasn't
okay.
any cameras. And I told him, I was like, there's no cameras, there's nothing. Like, I'm not gonna do you like that, I won't do you dirty. He's sitting on his bed, I'm sitting in the chair, and we're like, we're chatting. I was like, why the did you just throw me under the bus like that?
Weigh in, please.
You make that your first and your last time talking and doing anything like that to me ever.
Oh, don't you wish the cameras were there?
And he was just like, you know, I didn't mean it. Like, I didn't know what to do. Like, you didn't have my back and blah, blah, blah. And like, we were going back and forth. And I just look him in his eyes and I go, well, I shouldn't say look him in his eyes. I walk up and straddle him, then look him in his eyes and I go,
cameras.
Act like you don't want this just as bad as I do. And I get up and I leave.
I
I should write a handbook. What not to do. I mean, why?
Someone's
It's
just
amazing.
made you cry in front of all of your friends on vacation.
You know what? That should have been it.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find the text messages, but like that whole night we were going back and forth all night. Like we were bickering, and then we were not bickering, then we were bickering some more, and then we were not
The
bickering.
passion.
And I was just like, how dare you? I was like, you need to do this, and like, you need to apologize, because he still hadn't apologized to me.
Yeah.
I just let it slide. I was just like, you know what? Like, I get
Y'all
it.
would have had really good sex one day. Sad story. Passion leads to good sex. So what happens next?
Yeah. What happens next is the boy wakes up, he talks to Madison over coffee, gets on the flight, and he goes home, and then...
That is so weird. I'd be so mad.
So JT comes to my room and
oh God.
Don't worry.
Oh God.
Nothing romantic. He wants to have a talk, and he has this like box of cigars that he wants me to give to Whitney, but I'm like, no, I'm giving these to my husband. And he's like, you know, I just feel like I'm gonna leave. I can't do this anymore.
Why did he say he was leaving?
So JT wants to leave because of the night we had at dinner.
I'm gonna go back and take care of some business.
Well, I don't think you need to cower it out.
I can't negotiate the truth with Craig.
I mean, you're gonna have to face these people.
I did last night.
And I was like, dude, you've been a coward this whole time. You need to stay, because at this point, you're not invited to the group anymore if you just walk out and leave. Do you know how many times we're in awkward situations and we've got to just like man up and own what we said or what we did, and it's not comfortable, but at the same time own it? Like,
Right. I apologize for that. I do think you are a good person.
So I will work on being kind to her, and I'm sorry.
I apologize to people that I've hurt and for the things that I've done along the way.
I went through stuff that I didn't want to show up to, but I still showed up. And JT, instead of trying, he just like shows up late and then leaves early and then disappears. Like, I wish I was, you know, a pussy to walk away and be like, yeah, I said that and I don't feel like dealing with it. And he's, you know, all bent out of shape because everybody hates him.
We don't hate you, JT. We're trying to understand you. And also, right now, you have unfinished business with people, which is what I was trying to get him to do at the dinner. Squash that. And guess what? Sally was like, she didn't want to, but she was like, yes, if he apologizes,
yeah,
we're good. This wasn't unforgivable stuff. Like, it wasn't the easiest stuff to get out of, but like, you could have worked through it. What I said that he said about you is what he said.
You heard what Craig said that I said. That was a conversation for me and you to have. And he just flamed it. And so we're going off Craig's telephone game of bullshit, and it's destroyed our relationship. It's up.
There was no truth to whatever he said about me, which is why I'll get over it. But at the same time, I was like, how dare you even put that out in the universe?
I think it made Brett get a little weird when that all went around.
This is a theory that you've developed?
My God, this is so crazy.
I don't think he's worried about you, though.
But then why FaceTime you with your wife to ask me if we hooked up in Jamaica?
Did he say sorry?
No.
The fact that he didn't say sorry is crazy.
No, he didn't say sorry. That I heard.
I'm sorry that I brought that FaceTime call up to Craig. That was a huge mistake. It wasn't a hit job on you or your husband.
He didn't say it more than once, that's for sure.
Okay, so then you tell him not to leave, and he's just like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Off to the airport.
He can't stand the heat. He can create the heat, he just can't stand it. I wonder what his flight was like.
I hope he was in coach in the back.
Next to the bathroom?
Next to the bathroom.
I have a theory. If your airplane seat is the same as a bra size, you're f***ed. 34C?
Yeah, no, you do not want that.